Welcome and what is up there, everybody? This is Casper Trader back here with another video today. We are going live doing a weekend stock talk today, talking about the top stocks to trade this week. It is currently May 18th, so for the week of May 20th to May 25th, if I'm correct. That's the trading week. You'll have a good amount of stocks that we would be looking to trade, and if you guys stay tuned, then you guys would be able to find out or just like make a watch list of the stocks to trade this following week. So if you guys would like to just hold on a second. If you guys are watching the re-upload of the live stream, you guys can just skip like 1 or 2 minutes ahead. Meanwhile, I'm going to post a link into the Discord server, and we'll get started as soon as possible. So thank you guys. All right, let me just share this right here really quick. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Okay. We're good. So, while the first few people just tune in, and if you guys are tuning in, please put something in the chat box below so we know you're here. I have that opened up on the side, and also we'll get started with some stocks that we've been watching for a while already, but we'll then go on to the picks that you guys want to check out, and we'll just go like that. So I'm gonna go through a few ETFs that usually are on my watch list just to see if they're at a good buying opportunity this week. So we'll start off with that really quickly. So UWT, DWT, these are ETFs for crude oil for those who don't know. And let's check out the charts on this. Maybe not the 5-minute charts, maybe 30-minute charts. And we previously drew in a support and resistance on this stock, which follows crude oil. And we've seen that like the resistance, it broke above the resistance. This was like in April, broke above the resistance and was bouncing and using the resistance as a support. And then it gapped down and fell way below, used that as a resistance, and then completely just broke below. And so what we can tell from this is like almost the ideal kind of break of pattern and what it looks like. And let's say for example, let's see if we can draw in maybe a trend line here. Does this make sense? All right, no, maybe not a trend line here. So just looking at this in overall, we can see that when it fell below right here, it bounced a little bit and used the old support as a resistance. And that's like the key. Whenever you see this is almost 99.9% chance that the stock is actually reversing right here. And it's not like oh yes, it's going to reverse back up to where it was. No. That can sometimes happen because it doesn't always go with the pattern, but usually it consolidates for a while, breaks below, and uses the old support as a resistance, and that means it's gonna go tank down after that. And just looking at it right now, it started creating sort of its own little pattern right here, which doesn't have like a super stable support or anything at all. Yeah, so maybe this won't be in the good buy area, so this wouldn't be like the best stock to look at. It was using like this green line that I put in right here as a support previously, but right now, and it was using like this old support as a resistance, but right now it's not looking like it's at a good buy area. I understand if we were like at the support, then we could possibly buy, but not really. It's not what's going on. So let's check out DWT, which is the inverse, and see if that makes a little more sense to buy right now if it's at a good deal. All right, so let's see. I think we can possibly draw in a support right here. Support line like this. And a resistance possibly like that. Alright, so no, I kind of broke that. So it didn't work like 100% of the time. So I think the best thing we can draw in right now is just a support line. Where it tended to bounce was on the support line right here. It broke below one time, it gapped down below, and then within a few days or so, it just broke back above and started using it as a support. And right here above, it was like bouncing up above it, and it recently just hit the support, but now it's like a little bit higher, and it's on the R side. Doesn't look like the best deal. It's around 50, so it's not like it's like fair value, so it's not very good of a buy, I would say. So maybe not DWT or UWT so far, like in the Monday, but maybe throughout the week they will show some signs of um, a good buying opportunity. All right, Jacob Guerrero. So I'm trading. I'm trying to get into trading options weekly. What do you think? I'm not an expert at options or anything like that. But Jacob, I think that trading options weekly. Are you trying to day trade them? Probably. Are you trying to day trade them? Because weekly options, the decay is just really big, so you don't really want to hold them overnight. Unless you're like expecting like earnings or something like an earnings play. But so yeah, are you looking to day trade them or trying to get $100 a week? I think maybe there's some other YouTube channels out there that will explain options better than me. But just from my past own experience, trading weekly options can really screw you over really easily. So I definitely recommend paper trading it first, but it's all up to you. It's all your opinion. You can try it with real money or you could paper trade, but just from what I've experienced, it is not a fun road if the stock doesn't go in your direction. So you have to cut your losses pretty short, and you can't like bag hold because if you end up holding while it goes like down lower, 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 like 50%, 70%, then you're just screwed, and it just takes a lot of courage, and you have to be quick and right on top of the game. So, um, some options YouTube channels I recommend is I think Options Alpha. They have some good options videos. So if you want to check that out after this video, feel free to do so. Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the next one, JDST. JDST right here. All right. So we can see that it's like consolidating around the resistance that it used to be at, and all right. And right now it just tipped down a little bit below. And just looking at the 180-day SMA, it may be looking to use it as a support because previously it has bounced on it once, twice, all right, this is 3 times, and fell below once, and it may try to use it as a support another time. All right, so just zooming into JDST, the EMA is acting as a sort of resistance, like in the 30-minute charts, which may not be very relevant, like in when something happens right in the morning of Monday. So I think honestly, JDST may not be the best buying area right now, just because even if you were to hold it, I mean, this is not a bad swing trade. If you were to hold it and it bounces up from $51 to $52, that's about $1 profit margin, 2%. I'm not saying that's bad, but it's also like not oversold, so we're not getting really the best deal on it. And it's near previous resistance, so who knows where this could go towards. And for all we know, it could tip down all the way to $44. Um, but one thing that we may be able to identify right here is a sort of triangle pattern. All right, so right here, this could be looking like sort of a triangle pattern. Um, this would be like the top resistance line, and this would be like the bottom support line. And it may be looking to squeeze possibly Monday or Tuesday, first 2 days in the market, and it'll probably go up or down in a certain direction pretty strongly, I would say, because usually when it squeezes, it has like a large push of volume in either direction. So let's go back to JNUG and see if JNUG, which is the inverse of JDST, if it has something good that's worth looking at. All right. So JNUG looks like it's actually honestly at a pretty good buying level. Just in the overall like daily charts, maybe not 30-minute charts, but if you were to look at the daily charts, or maybe even 30 minutes, but its overall like lows throughout like the year so far we're around the area of 655, and guess where it's right now? Exactly at 655. Well, I'm sorry, it's around $7, which is getting really close to the 650 area. It did fall a bit below. It went down to like $6.20 previously, but still, it's looking like it's at a pretty good area to buy, possibly a little bit more of a long-term swing trade. So I would try with an ETF that doesn't have like so much decay, or a stock that tracks gold for more longer-term like swing trades, because um, for those who don't know, ETFs decay over time, just little by little. So it may be a little bit more worth it to purchase like a stock that moves around in the direction that gold does, or um, like purchase, yeah, mostly about that, like a stock that follows around the gold price movements. So yeah, I would wait until it drops probably to the support though, and then it would be looking like a good buy. In the 30-minute charts, I feel like the SMA line could be used as a sort of resistance. So right now it's touching the tip of the SMA line, so it may look to bounce down. Really quickly, I'm gonna add a study right here. Another SMA line, 50-day SMA. Just to give us a little more insight. 50-day SMA. All right. All right. So maybe let's change up the colors, because it's a little bit confusing. All right, there you go. Edit. Uh, give me a second, guys. Let's take maybe yellow. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll just keep that in. Yeah, and it's also using. It's right at the tip of the 50-day SMA, so it may look like to tip down because also it's overbought. So right away, probably Monday, it may have a little dip down, and that may be possibly a good buying opportunity. But I would wait until it falls to like 640 or 620 ish, because that's where it's in the really good deal area. So yeah, any stocks you guys want me to go over? Not many people are watching currently, so I'll just go over a few other stocks. One including SPY, because SPY, it's been a little bit interesting with the trade war with China, with Trump and China, that stuff going on. Honestly, this could be another like mini pullback in the market, I would say, quote unquote, like it did previously. Maybe not as drastic, but it may shake the markets a bit, because there's still a little bit of time. I think of the trade war, if I'm correct, there's around 2 or 3 weeks until they like have to make a deal or something like that. So honestly, I think that could affect the markets definitely in a either positive or negative way if they make a deal. So I would be very cautious of that. But looking at the 30-minute charts, we see that the stock has rebounded up to the SMA line, the 180-day SMA line, if I'm correct. Yeah, 180-day SMA line, and has used it as sort of resistance. So this is showing us basically that this stock is now in downtrending, descending pattern basically. It's below the SMA line and it's using it as sort of resistance. But one thing I would watch, this is kind of like the SMA line in action a bit. Right here, we can see that SMA line sometimes also acts like as a support or resistance for the stock. So like the 50-day SMA has been used as support previously, May 17th right here, and possibly be used as one as well right now, currently, because the stock is around the area. If it does bounce back up, then it will probably try to like squeeze in between the 180-day SMA and the 50-day SMA, and then push in either direction pretty strongly. I don't know if that's a word even, pretty aggressively. That's right. All right, so let me see if I can possibly draw in like a triangle pattern. That would make sense for here. Maybe, yeah, this looks about right. So the support line would be right around here on this trend line. It's been using it once, twice, 3 times. Here didn't use it. I'll use the EMA as a support, and then 4 times, and now it's at the 5th time, which is possibly showing us that it'll probably have a little rebound up, but it'll probably only be around $1.50 on the SPY. So This one I'm very curious about to see. This is basically tracks over the overall stock market. I'm really curious to see what's going to go on and see if the market's going to end up going up or going down after the trade war. Alright guys, so let's go over another stock that we watch. I'm going to go on my watch list on my phone really quickly, if you guys don't mind. If you guys have any stocks you guys want me to go over, feel free to drop them in the chat box below, and I'd be happy, extremely happy to go over them. So, let me check my watch list really quickly. Let's see if there's anything that looks good. So, JNL, JDC, Tesla. Oh, I think we should. Alright, never mind VVK. Let's go over JASN. We'll go over Tesla in a sec. It's looking pretty interesting. JASN. This is penny stock. Jason Industries. All right, so it's had a huge gap down. Oh my gosh, on earnings, but I think we can draw a sort of support right around this area where the stock has usually come down to and bounced up pretty aggressively. So last time it was from $1.20 up to $3.55. So the price basically tripled, which is pretty big sight to see. But let's see if there's. Oh yeah, so this is basically all of it. It's from 2014. The company. But let's see if we can go in the 30-minute charts and see something good. And actually in the daily charts, let me add in also the 50-day SMA, just to get a little bit more insight on what's going on. SMA, give me a second, guys. Meanwhile, drop any other stocks you guys want me to go over, so we have like a little bit of a list in the chat box. All right, so yeah, did I say 50-day? Yeah, no, I said 20-day. My bad. Let me get that fixed really quickly. The 50-day SMA. All right. Okay, so Jason Industries, it's been on a little bit of a downtrend since like the beginning of the year, a little bit before like October-ish. It reached like peaks of around 367-ish, 370-ish. But right now I see that it's trending down a bit, and it's below the 180-day SMA and also the 50-day SMA. And I would probably try to wait until the stock starts confirming a reversal right around when it breaks above at least the 30 or like the 50-day SMA. Then we can see that it's probably going to start trending in that direction. Last time, like it did so, it was using the SMA line, 50-day SMA line as a resistance. Keep going down, 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 and once it broke, you could have made a profit of, let's see, from $1.17 probably to around $2.26. So around $1 profit, which is almost double in the stock price. So right now, I don't think JSN is the best buying opportunity, possibly because it's at a pretty low. But I would wait until it starts confirming an uptrend, so we know that it's definitely going to go up in that direction. All right, so let's go over Tesla. Tesla's looking pretty slick recently. Give me a second, guys. All right, there you go. So Tesla right here is down around 7.5%, basically 8% on Friday. So this stock has been tanking like crazy. Looking at the overall pattern though, what I did notice, and I think that may possibly happen with Tesla, is that it may go to its previous channel. Usually, like previously from the years like 2014. Yeah, 2014 to 2017. For 3 years, it was trading in between this one channel right here. Let me zoom into it a little bit. Yeah, so it's trading between this channel right here. It was in between the support right around the $183 area and the resistance right around the $255 area. But it did break above that, fairly recently in 2018, and it started creating its own channel. So right here, as you guys can see, it definitely broke below the support. It broke below, used the old support as a resistance, and now it's tanking down lower, lower, and lower. This may not be a good buying opportunity. May be a good buying opportunity, But honestly, Tesla, I would wait until either they find support or start like to consolidate, so it steadies up a bit, so we can actually make a good buying opportunity on this. But right now, I mean, it's tanking pretty hard, and if we use like the 50-day SMA, we can see that it keeps using it as like a sort of resistance, and it can't pop over it, and just on a complete downtrend right now. So yeah, I think I would wait before investing in it once it's like stables up a bit, like starts consolidating or finding like support, or maybe around the old support area. Maybe that's gonna be it, or maybe it's gonna find somewhere else. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Uh, Noise feedback. What to hear option? All right. Casper. What he's studying in college. I like he tries. Um. So, any stocks you guys want me to go over, real quick? Any stocks you guys want me to go over, or should I go over a few stocks that I have on my watch list? Any specific stocks, just feel free to drop them in the chat box below. So let's see. Okay, so I kind of found something pretty interesting, I guess. I guess you could call this interesting, but around where the area Qualcomm is right now is where it had a huge spike up back in the year 2000, or this is even like, yeah, 2000. It had a huge spike up right here, if you guys can see. And right now, after the earnings, I think, no, before earnings, they made a deal with Apple, I'm pretty sure. They did hit that area, and now they're starting to go lower, lower, and lower, so it's starting to tank down a bit. But let's check out on the 30-minute charts and see if anything shows like a good deal, buying opportunity. I mean, since I had a gap up, there's not like much to go off of. Like, you can't like read like 3 years back in the past to like find an overall pattern that's going on. But right here, I would only use like the indicators, and possibly if there's any short-term like price movements that you can tell that's like a pattern forming, that would be it. But right here, honestly, I can't find much. I see that it just had a huge arc basically, and yeah, it's slowly crawling below like the 180-day SMA and the 50-period SMA as well. And I'm honestly, since it keeps going lower and lower, maybe it wouldn't be the best buying opportunity. And this is just my opinion. Like I say, um, you guys invest in what you see value in. This is just my opinion. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go over. I have another few stocks on my watch list. Let's check that out really quick. So I was looking to start possibly even dividend investing, just to build some dividend income on the side. Um, that's just an idea floating around my head. Just wanted to share it with you guys really quickly. Okay, so let's check out DGAS and UGAS. I don't think last time we checked them, there wasn't much to see to buy on this stock. Yeah, so UGAS still pretty low, but it did cross over the 180 period SMA. The blue line right here basically for you guys, and it's been using it as a support a bit. So like it bounced on it once here, twice here, and I think that possibly this may be actually a good stock to trade. Once it goes down to the SMA line, it may be like a good support point, and then you could probably swing it back up like $1 or so. So let's say you buy it at 25.14, and then you sell it at 26.14ish. Just being conservative, that's $1. That's around 4% on possibly even a day trade or a swing trade. So yeah, you guys looking probably like a good buying opportunity if it uses the SMA line as a support one more time, which probably looking at what's going on may happen one more time, at least. And didn't I click that line? What the heck? So yeah, nah, yeah, no, not much of like a stable support. I'd rather just use the indicators that are up. Okay, so let's check out GGAS, which is the inverse of UGAS for those who don't know. It's an ETF. Okay, so GGAS right here, it's been kind of using this overall line of a 125 area as a sort of resistance. It did break above it once, but then as soon as it broke above, it just fell below. And right now it's sort of using the area of 110 as a support line. Right here, if I can zoom in nicely. Not really. Okay, fine. So, all right. So this is basically where it can be using as a support, and resistance may be forming right around the SMA line. As you guys can see, every time it got like close to it, it started going down. It got close to it, it started going down. So I say it still may have some profit margin to go for, maybe from 114 to 117 or so, before it'll probably tank down, which would be like a good opportunity to buy DGAS. I mean UGAS at once it tanks. UGAS goes down and DGAS goes up a bit. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Alright guys, I'm going to be honest with you with my Robinhood. I did some day trading options, and I kept cutting my losses because I was up like $2 for a second, and then the stock usually tanked, so I just had to cut my losses, and I couldn't get in at a good buying opportunity, and I got a little bit played on the emotions, like FOMO and stuff. I did try to stay away from chasing stocks. I did kind of stay away from chasing like stocks, but overall, my portfolio is pretty low right now. And the thing I was just thinking about is starting some dividend investing and swing trading back at it again. Study some swing trading because options are definitely a little bit more riskier, and I'd rather just focus on one thing. But the positive things that we can take out of this is I tried like almost everything you can do in the stock market. Um, it was like first it was swing trading, and then it was options, like swing trading options. Then it was um, swing trading again. Then it was day trading a bit, and now it was like day trading options. And basically, what I want to do, you can't go wrong with long term investing. I mean, overall, in the next, let's say, 10 years, you're probably going to be up no matter what. Just looking at SPY over the last 10 years, you guys can probably tell that it went up, right? The gains aren't enormous or anything like that, but little gains are better than losses, am I right? So let's say 10 years ago, right here, January of '09. The stock market also crashed, but it was at $80 or so, and now it's at 280. So basically a gain of around 300%. So around 10 years, 300%, and not so bad. And if you were to buy, let's say 5 years ago, SPY, which tracks the overall stock market for those who don't know, 2014-ish, bam, that'd be like 190-ish. So it almost like it grew by around 50% in the last 5 years. So that's some pretty nice growth, and we could all be a part of that by just long-term investing a bit. But swing trading is still just like my number one. It's the thing I started off trading, and I think I want to stick with it because it's like my favorite trading style. I did try with the options, but options are just like a little too risky, and like if you're losing, then you're like losing 10 to 20%, like that, like really quickly. Um, and you just have to get used to like the losses, which I don't think I'm a big fan of. I'd rather stick with swing trading where you can cut your losses pretty short. Like when you're losing like 1, 2, 3%. Instead in options, you're losing 10, 20, 30%. But also on the upside, you're making like 50, 60, 70% profits. If you make a good trade. So I think swing trading and some maybe dividend stocks on the side is what I'm gonna go. It's gonna be like my go-to right now. So yeah. Any stocks you guys want me to go over? Any specific ticker symbols, or should I check my watch list, see if there's any also good stuff? Actually, I kind of want to check some large cap stocks like Facebook and Apple a bit. Facebook, man, had a huge gap up, and oh man. All right, so Facebook, does Facebook release dividends, earnings? I don't think Facebook has dividends, if I'm correct. Yeah. Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see any dividends. So, looking at Facebook right here, we can see that it's using a sort of like the 50-day SMA line as a sort of support. You guys can see that's highlighted. If we look at the daily charts, since maybe February, it's used as a support once and then twice and then now the third time. It's been a little bit rejected by the EMA line right here, and I think that would actually be a good buying opportunity for this stock once it goes down to this actually support, which is on the EMA line, which I'm gonna write down because this may be a good swing trade, a little bit more long term, but some pretty good profit margins on this. So let's write this down. Facebook. All right, so Facebook. Let's say we buy it once it dips down to the support at $180 and we swing it up. So last time it did so, it went from 165 to around the area of 177. So let's see around $12 profit margin. So 180 to 192-ish. If it bounces up there, then we're making 12 cents. I mean $12 profit. That's around 6 or 7% a swing trade on the stock. And this would be like within just a week or two or so. So this looks like a pretty good stock. I'm gonna write this down. 6 to 8%. All right. Tesla. All right, we'll go over Tesla really quickly one more time. Mr. Cool Millie. All right. So Tesla right here. I said last time it was. I mean, right now on the RSI right here, you guys can see that it's probably like at a good buying opportunity if you're to just go off of the RSI. And honestly, I think it will have a pullback, but just like the overall trend of the stock recently, like since like the whole 2019, it's just been tanking lower, 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 and it's been using the 50-day SMA line as a sort of resistance, as you guys can see. It touched on it once, twice, three times, almost a fourth time right here before it tanked down even lower. And good buying opportunities on the stock were probably when the RSI was like around the 30 area. Right here was around the, actually, it wasn't a 30, but it was around 35 or so. And I would say this is a little bit more riskier to swing trade because if you don't get out at the right moment on Tesla, then you'll be screwed over because let's say you buy it right here and you don't check it for a little bit, or like you're like, oh, I think it's gonna go higher, higher. And if you wait a few extra days, then you're gonna get screwed over. And if you want to wait until the next bounce, that'll take a few more days. Plus, the stock will bounce even lower because it's on a descending pattern. So yeah, I think Tesla. I would wait because I said previously, like I said previously, this may happen. I don't know if it will, but between 2014 2017, it's been trading between this like a channel. Um, it was usually like three little mountains right here, 1, 2, 3, and it was 1, 2, 3 on top. So it may start going down into this channel right here, between the $183 area and around the $255 area, where it's gonna bounce from probably support and then bounce around to resistance a few times before it starts creating another pattern or just breaks the pattern. But that still has a lot of room to run. If you guys can see, that's around $30 where it could still drop, possibly. But who knows? We just have to wait and see. And I would just wait until the stock kind of finds like a consolidating point or support where it could bounce off of. All right, guys. So any other stocks, just drop them in. Like I say, chat box. We'll be going over that in this momentarily in a second. One dividend stock that was really interesting me, and it's like, I mean, technically it's also kind of a growth stock because this thing's grown like crazy. So it was at $10 back in 2000. Wow, so you would have multiplied your money times 7 for within 20 years. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, so, and it has pretty nice dividends. I'm pretty sure this has monthly dividends. Yeah, so All Realty Income has some pretty nice dividends monthly if you guys are looking for monthly dividend stocks. But overall, it's also been growing pretty nicely. As you guys can see, like I showed you, it was at $10 like 20 years ago. All right, that's a little bit long term. But if you look at a little bit more short term, since like September, August, it's just been trending up, up, and up. It's been going up a bit, having a little pullback, up, and a little bit of a pullback. Right now, the only thing I would watch a little bit is that maybe not exactly on the SMA line, but maybe we can draw a trend line in. Yeah, I think we can draw a trend line in. It's been slowly trending downwards, which may not be a good sign. I'd rather invest in stocks that are trending upwards. But this may also be like a good buying opportunity once it dips down maybe one more time for like a swing. If anyone's interested in that, I don't know, from 67 to 69, maybe it's not the best swing trade because it took like a month or so, or 2 weeks or so. That's not that bad. But yeah, overall, I think the resistance is around this trend line, and it's just been struggling to break it. It broke above it once, but right when it broke above, the next day it just like fell below. So right now I would look either if it breaks, then that'll be probably a good buying opportunity. If it like breaks and pulls back a bit. But overall, I think it's still gonna have at least one more dip down to probably the area of, let's see, let me draw a trend line in really quick. Possibly like the area of maybe $66 or like 67-ish at least dollars before it starts bouncing again. Are you still trading TQQQ? It's on my watch list. I didn't buy any of it, but I'm definitely looking to buy into TQQQ once all this trade war stuff is over. Because the stock market's on a pretty nice pullback, and last time TQQQ was on a pullback, I mean, it was a way bigger one, David. But if you were to buy TQQQ on the huge pullback from $30 to around the area of $67, you would have doubled your money within, all right, from January to May, within like 4 or 5 months, you would have doubled your money. That's just fantastic, in my opinion. But I think TQQQ may be a good buy when this overall stock market like starts consolidating a bit and the trade war stuff like dials down a bit, or once it gets resolved. Then, if the stock market is still on a pullback and it's not like at all-time highs, I will consider buying it for sure. Um, just even if I were to like hold it for a few weeks, yes, I know there's decay, but if it just pushes up aggressively, like the decay doesn't matter if it like fell 1% or so every week or so, if you still made double your money in 4 to 5 months. So I think on a pullback, I would definitely look to buy TQQQ. But right now, as you guys can see, um, it was pretty overbought recently. It had like a pretty strong day. Um, and it bounced up to like around fair value before. Right now, I think it's going to tank a little bit. It's going to use these probably SMA line as a resistance and probably going to bounce down from there. But the 50-day SMA may try to save it and use that as a support, like to bounce off of. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But on a pullback, definitely TQQQ will look like a fantastic deal probably. Because it's like a leveraged ETF for those who don't know, and it's like 3 times of the overall movement of the stock market. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in that for sure. All right, guys. So let's check out. Let's see what else we got on our watch list. USLV. This is like I've never traded this stock. It's been on my watch list for like a year or so. USLV. It's it's a silver ETF. Oh man, this one's trending down like crazy. Wow, that's nasty. All right. Um, Jed Singh Sai. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. O? Is that? I mean, are you looking for the stock O or what? All right, all right. So yeah, USLV may look like actually a decent buying opportunity because it's reaching like its overall lows, where it's been for like the last year or so, yeah, around a year's time span, like the low was around the area of $55, and right now guess where it is, around $56. And if you were to like maybe possibly swing trade this up from 56 to around $60, that's around $4 in profit margin. That's around 7-8%, which would be a pretty good swing for like a day or two, which I may write down. But just because it's trending downward, it's not going to be super attractive because if you miss like an exit point, then you're going to have to wait for the next swing, which will be even lower. So it may not be worth it overall. But it's still something good to watch. Seymour B. All right, let's go over SPY. Once again, SPY tracks the overall basically stock market, and it's been recovering from the huge downturn in like December, I think it was, yeah, December, where it tanked down really hard. And right now, because of the trade war, it's been tanking down a bit. It went from the highs of around 295 down to 279 actually. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, so it fell by around 14 points or so. And right now, I would honestly, I mean, since this is affected by the trade war stuff and news, I wouldn't be the biggest fan in trading this, just myself, in my opinion. Because Trump, who knows when Trump could tweet something randomly in the middle of the day, saying some trade war stuff, and your position could either go so much in your favor, let's say you're long on it, and it goes up in your favor, but if he says something in the middle of the day and you're not there to catch like your losses or something, it'll screw you over definitely. But that's just my opinion. And right now, it's been recovering and using as this trend line as a support. Welcome, Shirley Lewis. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Thank you, thank you. If you guys have any stocks, like I say, drop them in the chat box below, and we'll be going over them. So yes, SPY looking at this trend line right now. It's like the overall support point that I would say, and it's used as support once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times, and it's at the 5th time where it could use it, and it could probably bounce up a few dollars or so. The only thing I would watch is that it's sort of creating a triangle pattern, so it may kind of like squeeze before it pushes up in either direction with a lot of volume. So you got to be careful for that. All right, so SFLY. All right, so SFLY. All right, we're still, yeah, we're good. So SFLY, Shutterfly. Oh yeah, Shutterfly. So let's see. Overall, it's been trending down. Oh man, it had a huge hill, like around $100 it cost. Before now, it's tanked down to $40 or so. Man, all right. So Shutterfly. Let's check the 30-minute charts on it. So it is pretty overbought, honestly. I don't think it would maybe be the best buying opportunity right now. Just because it's pretty overbought. Like it's around the 70 area, which isn't a best buying point, and it's nearing the overall SMA line 180 day. I would say I prefer to buy stocks at around the 30 RSI point, like around when it's oversold. So you have like a higher probability. The probability is in favor of your trade going up. So yeah. So I think that honestly, Shutterfly, maybe it's gonna have at least a little bit more pullbacks. Right now, it's pretty overextended on the overbought side. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's check out some other stocks to go over. Um, Snapchat. I don't know. Snapchat was going crazy though. They like doubled in price within like a month or so. Well, maybe not a month, but it was a few months or so. Let's check. We have ACB. I think like the weed, I mean pot stocks hype is starting to go over, so the stocks will possibly be going down a bit. It was super hyped up previously. So let's see. Yeah, I think we'll just go over Snapchat really quickly before we go over to XEL. Yeah, all right. So we're here. Let's go over Snapchat. Snapchat's looking like it's nearing actually its overall resistance, which may be signs of not the best buying opportunity, in all honesty. But it previously, look, it went from December. It was at $5. It went up to 11, which is crazy. For a stock like Snapchat, it like doubled in price within just a few months. So that was pretty cool to see. But right now, it's actually starting to trend downward. It did fall below and then go above a little bit, so it's like bouncing up and down around the area of support. I mean the SMA line right here. So right now, honestly, I don't think it'll be the best buy because Snapchat is at the overall trend line that acts as a resistance for the stock. So I think it'll actually be a good short. No more options. No more options. But definitely, I think that Snapchat could still have some margin to run downward, which we could profit off of by shorting the stock or something like that. And just in case, you just have to watch, like every stock you have to watch. It still could break the pattern because patterns don't work 100% of the time. It just more works most of the time. So it could definitely break above. Um, I don't think Street Smart Edge has a scanner. Possibly, but I don't. I haven't used a scanner on this. I know that Thinkorswim or Finviz. If you guys want to find an online screener, it's called Finviz. I think I heard it's pretty good. And also on Thinkorswim they have a scanner if you want to check that out. But I don't think Street Smart Edge has one. Yeah, trading options full time. David Isaac. I don't know. I want to try stuff out, but um, I think it's just best to paper trade it before you go with real money. That's just my overall lesson. I've been saying that it's better to paper trade than day trade. I mean, then just trade by yourself. But honestly, myself, I've been just more inclined to trade with real money because there's more like action. It's more emotional. Like you can actually have a real feel. Because if you lose money paper trading, then it's like you shrug it off. It's like meh, whatever. But if you actually lose in real life, you're like, all right, I have to learn a lesson from this. I have to see like what I did wrong and how I can improve it next time. Or if you make money, then you're just all hyped up and stuff. Yeah. So any stocks to go over? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's go over XCL. Uh, um, Excel Energy Incorporated. All right. So we went over the stock previously. Let's just adjust the resistance a bit that we drew previously on the stock. Come on, guys. Let's get this. All right. So looking overall on EXL, it's reaching its overall sort of resistance, which may not be the best buying point. It's reaching the 70 area for the RSI, showing that it's pretty overbought. So let's zoom in on 30-minute charts. It is above the 180 period SMA in the 30-minute charts, but just looking at it overall, I think it'll definitely have a time. I mean, it's definitely looking to pull back pretty soon, honestly. I think EXL may not be the best buying opportunity right now just because it's approaching like its overall resistance, which will probably bring the stock price down. Yeah, so that's just my opinion on that one. You can still possibly swing trade this one, but that's all up to you. All right, so I'm sorry. Any other stocks you guys want me to go over, or should I just go? I'll just go over back. By the way, have you guys? How was your trading week last week, everyone? Was it good, bad? Paper trading or real trading? Good, bad? 5K? That's pretty dope. But was that paper trading or legit? David, 5K is pretty nice. I bet it was probably options, right? Real? Ooh, that's pretty nice. 5K in a week? Alright, stop making me tempted for options, dude. Dude, come on. You're tempting me. Stop. Alright, I'm gonna try paper trading options now. I mean, I was planning on doing that paper trading options just on the side when I have more time during summer, just to see if I could get the fundamentals down of it. But if not, that's perfectly fine. We'll just stick to swing trading or possibly dividend investing. But yeah, all right. So ICPT, Intercept Pharmaceuticals. This stock has been trending down in the daily charts for the last like few years or so. But right now, we can see that it's possibly at a good buying opportunity. We saw that it was at a good buying price. Because the support, it was like right around the support. But honestly, I think right now it may not be the best buy. People are like, oh, it's gonna be a good buy. But what I noticed is, I mean, this isn't like anything I found off of YouTube or so. Like, there's like chart patterns and stuff you can learn. This is sort of like something I learned from my own experience. So you guys want to listen up for this, because I don't think you'll find this much, or I just missed a bunch of directions and stuff. Um, but this isn't much of a head and shoulders pattern. But honestly, what I noticed is when a stock is trading in between a channel, like support and resistance, it usually has three mountains before it breaks pattern. Like, it's not probably going to go for a fourth time. It's almost always that it does it three times before it just completely stops and breaks below or breaks above the pattern, which is honestly a good thing to keep in mind, because recently I've been seeing this happen to a lot of stocks, and I would be the person who would buy without confirmation, just a little bit more riskier, but it's a little higher reward. I would probably buy at support, but right now, since I noticed that it's usually that it has three mountains before it breaks pattern, this isn't actually like the best buy right now. Most people saw this stock like, oh, it's fantastic. ICPT is gonna bounce back up to $115 from $90. But honestly, this is just my opinion. Like I say, so in my opinion, I think that ICPT is actually just going to break the channel. And I mean, it did technically break below, but I think it's going to tank down a fair amount more before it starts trending up a bit. So that's just a little bit of my insight for you all. All right, any stocks you guys want me to check real quick? Any stocks? We'll do like 2 or 3 more stocks if you guys want to. So feel free to drop them below whenever you're ready. Give me a sec. I was gonna check something. What was I gonna check? Oh yeah. Yeah. And I apologize for not uploading very often, because school has been getting a bit busy, and um I'm just trying to like get kind of prepared also for summer to start recording more videos. And yeah, so summer definitely, guys, will see a lot more videos. All right, so we got two stocks right here by Shirley Lewis. SO. So Southern Corporation. So SO is reaching its overall sort of resistance right around the area of $54. You still could make probably swing trade out of this. Just when it dips down a little bit. Probably, yeah. So when it dips down to around the 30 area on the RSI, you could probably take this from $30. All right, so 53 to 54. So that's around a 2% gain. A quick swing trade that would last like a day or two. So Southern, I think maybe it's only swing trade worthy in the short term, but long term, the stock is looking to tank anytime soon, because it's just like it's all overall all-time highs, and yeah, I don't think it's has much of a chance to bounce over and break resistance. All right, so Z, let's go over Z. And Cray is going to be the last stock before we end the live stream. If you guys want, we can make one tomorrow as well. No problemo. If you guys would like. Oh wow, so Zillow has been trending up like crazy in the last like month or so, and it's been using the 50 period SMA line as a sort of support, using it as a support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then it started going a little bit above, building some real estate in between the um, support basically and where it is at resisting usually. The overall place where it could probably start trending down, I don't really see much of. Honestly, just from looking at the RSI, I don't think that Zillow may be the best like swing trade. If you want a day trade, go for it. But for swing trade, maybe not the best buy, because simply, I mean, it is close to the support, which I want to write down real quick. So yeah, Zillow is close to the support, which is around $32 area. But just looking at it right now, it's really overbought. It's around the 70 area, 71 even. So I think it's a better buying opportunity once it dips down to around the 30 area on the RSI. So that's just my opinion, but I would wait for that before entering into Zillow. Cray. All right, so Cray Incorporated released its earnings and now it just gapped up like crazy. Okay, so when there's like a gap up from earnings, there's not much like to go off of previous patterns. I mean, we can still find that like, oh, its overall resistance usually was around this area, $48. But when it gaps up, there's not much like patterns going on that you can kind of use. So Cray, when you're trading this, all up to you. RSI is a bit overbought. I mean, really overbought. But when you're trading this, I would just do some research on it and make sure it's a good buy. Do I have a new side hustle? So Chris, it's been crazy. I mean, with Instagram and stuff, I made an Instagram page. It was growing pretty nicely, like smoothly, 50 to 100 followers a day. It got shadow banned, so I created a new Instagram page, tried out some new strats. It was growing a steady 100 followers a day. That got shadow banned, and now I started a new Instagram page, which is growing around. Right now, it's at around 40 followers a day, but it's still slowly like picking up speed. But the Instagram stuff, I don't even know. If they keep shadow banning me, I'm just gonna quit because, I mean, what can I do, honestly? Just change my IP address? I mean, um, but also, yeah, I think so. But the business of buying and reselling sneakers, you guys probably have heard of that already. Um, seems like a good business that I've been trying to get into, but um, it's pretty competitive so far. Like people with bots and stuff, it's pretty hard to get like a pair of shoes when they release. But if I do get one, I mean, that's a nice profit of like 100 or $150. So um, yeah, that's some good side hustle that I've been trying to work out, but hasn't been working. And also with Instagram, we'll just try to build that up. And if we get shadow banned, then I don't even know. That's just so much work put into Instagram, and just having them delete everything you do. That's just fantastic. Yeah. So that's just gonna be it probably for today's video. I hope you guys answered your questions. Analyze the stock nicely for you guys. And I wish you guys have a great next Sunday or just Saturday night. Hope you guys have a great day and a following week. That's fantastic. We may go hop onto another live stream tomorrow, which might be a little bit shorter. If you guys want to make a live stream or something tomorrow, just let me know in the Discord chat. It's always in the description below. If you guys want to do a live stream, just let me know and we can hop on anytime for you guys. So thank you guys all for watching, and guys, I hope you guys have a great day. All right, so Shirley, all right, you got in the comment like last second. So you want me to look at point and figure? All right, yeah, that's the point and figure. Good. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, David. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so I'll need the luck. Yeah, so yeah, that's just gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, like I say, Discord server is the place to go. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.